Hello, this is John of Brainstorm Comics and Gaming, and this is this week's Turning the Page, where we give our opinions of the comic book news that is out there this week. Again, I'm here by myself, hoping to get either Chris back on here or possibly some other co-hosts for other weeks. We'll see. We'll see what goes on. Jacob said he likes watching me by myself for 30 minutes, and as he does the edits. So Jacob is our camera guy. So
hello.
All right. So this week we are covering more CGC issues. I know you're shocked. You're not shocked?
Not shocked.
Not shocked. George Perez. A couple of things about George Perez. Some changes for characters on at Marvel. Joelle Jones, Peacekeeper gets some news. Dr. Fate and Spider Smasher. You're like, sure.
Yeah.
Also, apparently, I was wrong last week. Apparently, Red Panther is a new character. So that would make more sense than just getting a new costume. Like I said, the initial reports I had read said it was just him in a red costume, and I was like, well, that's just silly. And
no, this makes more sense for why people are buying it.
With somebody today told me, like, no, there's a whole new character. I'm like, okay, that's better than buying it because it's Black Panther in a red costume. So just wanted to make that correction. I was going off of, I guess, faulty information. So
it's been formally redacted.
Yes. All right, let's get started. We'll start with the CGC news. There's a YouTube personality out there who got back his CGC shipment, and normally that would make people be happy, right? Go, oh yeah, I got my CGC books back. It's only been 8,000 years, but whatever. But no, he was not happy. Apparently, he had sent off a triple cover book. So there's sometimes printing errors where they have multiple covers. So this one had 3 of the same cover. There are collectors out there that will pay a premium for that. So he got his back, and he got a 9.8, and you would think people would be happy, right? 9.8. Well, they only graded the one cover, and when you have a triple cover, they're supposed to grade all 3 covers. If you have a double cover, they're supposed to grade both covers. So he is under the suspicion that since it was a modern book, CGC did a very cursory read or check of the book. They just looked at it, made sure the corners were square, no kind of indentations or anything, and never really actually, because with modern books you shouldn't need to do page counts and stuff like that. The chances of you missing pages on a modern book are pretty negligible.
You're probably not going to grade it if it is. Exactly.
Unless you're trying to prove CGC isn't counting pages, you might submit some to.
That's true. Nobody will ever know after it's slabbed.
Exactly. So he is now under the impression that CGC is not actually doing a thorough grading of modern books. They are just looking at the front cover, back cover, like I said, checking for indentations, tears, that sort of thing, and moving along. Clearly, this would indicate that any faith in them may be misplaced at that point. Obviously, they promise that there's 3 people looking at the books as they grade them. He was very angry about that also because he's like, if 3 people looked at this and missed it, then all 3 of them should be fired, obviously, because how do you miss something that's like that? Plus, like with 3 covers, the thickness of the book should be, like if you hold that book, you should know that there's something different about it. I've gotten books before that were missing pages, and I could tell immediately, and I was like, this is missing pages. I would pop it open, and I'm like, yep, there's 6 pages inside, there's not 22. Or sometimes a book is heavier and you're like, oh, this has extra pages in it. You page through it and they're like, oh, look, they doubled up these pages, or maybe there's pages in there that don't belong in there. So what do you think? So is this more damaging to CGC, or are they too Teflon for it to really matter at this point?
I would say partially, yeah. They're probably, they say too big to fail, but it kind of feels like with them,
no matter what they do.
Yeah, people still need a grading service if they want to do these kinds of things, and they're still the front runner.
Yeah, one of the proof of that, because they've had one of my books for 7 months, and it hasn't even touched the cleaning and pressing side for them yet, and it's just sitting there. I've messaged them, emailed them, and they're like, yeah, we'll get to it.
It'll happen eventually.
Yeah. But I have no choice. I have to.
Yeah, that's the thing. Even if this is it would have to become a huge common issue for it to really stick. I would say maybe give them the benefit of the doubt in that whoever is printing up the label, maybe they did get checked. Maybe all 3 covers are a 9.8. Whoever's printing up the label sees 9.8, slaps the label on there, not thinking, oh, there's a reason there's 3 9.8 here. Something. So maybe they're actually looking at it. I mean, I don't know the process of what it is, and I'm sure they're keeping it kind of secret too. So it could be an error just on that, but it's hard to say.
So I know you're not really big into grading because you're a reader. You focus on reading. A couple years ago, CGC was getting bashed hard because they had something called Newton rings. Like the plastic was too tight or something, and it would cause the oil kind of look that when you look at oil that has like colors and stuff. Yeah. So the plastic was having that kind of thing because of how tight it was or something along that lines. And they did their darndest to make sure like people didn't talk about it. So, like even on their forums and stuff, they were kind of censoring it a little bit, and then they swore that they fixed it, and you still get books that have the Newton rings here and there, and I don't know. They're very good at burying information. Well, I think that this is conjecture on my part. I'm not saying it's actually going on, but sometimes I get the feeling like they have influence on the social media influencers to try and get them not to talk about it through I don't know through what means or whatever. I mean, there's a lot of things that they could do to kind of get them to do that, but I don't know. Your thoughts?
It's very much believable. I mean, if they
could even threaten lawyers, I guess, if there's no proof of the.
I mean, if you're saying allegedly and like these are what the reports say, they can't really sue you on that until you say like, oh, for sure, this is what it is. But I definitely think these YouTubers that are sending tons of books and sending higher grade books and stuff
or in bulk.
Yeah, bulk. They have content about them coming back. Maybe they are tossing them a little bit of bone of like, hey, we'll get your stuff through that process a little bit faster. Just, skate over that. And so, that's more content for them. So maybe they'll gloss over it. I mean, again, don't want to send lawyers, so I'll say possibly, but I don't think that's far-fetched of an idea.
Yeah. Unfortunately, CGC, CBCS, Heritage, all 3 of them have so much influence on the market right now. It's really crazy, but all right, I guess that's all we can say about that for right now. I'm sure we'll get more issues from CGC.
More issues?
Yeah. Hopefully our issues back. But, whatever. We'll turn the page on that topic and move on to the next one. Before we do so, don't forget the LCS. Like, comment, and subscribe. Yes, I'm standing in the middle. I saw you looking. You thought that was... So our cameraman challenged me to stand in the middle. So we'll see whether I can do that or not. I don't think I will. Anyway, so don't forget the LCS, like, comment, subscribe to your local comic book shop, Brainstorm Comics and Gaming. We are rapidly approaching the Venom number, 300, for our amount of subscribers. I think we were at 299 when I came in here. So we're one short. Who will be the Venom subscriber? That would be, I should have planned like a giveaway. Oh, well. Anyway, we'll do it at the, whatever. I'll think of something. Yeah, that's what I was trying to think of a key.
The wedding of Aunt May?
The Return of Superman.
There you go.
Anyway, so we'll move on to the next topic. George Perez, as we covered a couple months ago at this point, he was diagnosed with cancer. He was supposed to do a signing for CGC, staying with CGC, I guess. He has since canceled it. Some of the people were being kind of rude about, like... I was like, the guy has cancer. The fact that he even agreed to do a signing in the first place was kind of astounding to me. I was like, dude, go hang out with your friends and family and do all the things you ever wanted to do. Now, apparently he said he wanted to do things like that, though, because he loved the comic industry so much and the comic industry was so good to him. But I don't know, just some of the things I read were kind of disappointing, like sign my book kind of thing. But I feel like there is a small minority of comic book fans who don't realize how lucky they are with the access that they have to the writers and artists who provide them all this entertainment on a regular basis. So, what are your thoughts on that?
No, I completely agree on that. I mean, he was already somewhat retired because he was having issues with his sight, and by all accounts, he's an extremely nice guy. Everything he's very thankful for the industry. He said it himself, but I feel like that's kind of always been the story on him, and it's like he's dying. Like not to just be blunt about it, but like let him be. He wanted to do it, but his reason to pull out, I'm sure, is
probably deteriorating faster than what he
exactly, yeah, and or maybe he can't see it all right now, because I'm sure that's probably not the medicine. Well, he's not doing chemo and stuff, but I'm sure it's still like it's all playing together, and just like if he had to bail on that for his health, that should be fine.
Yeah, it should be. On a brighter side, though, Marvel and DC have come to an agreement to print 7,000 copies of JLA Avengers through the Hero Initiative.
Single issues or graphic novels?
I think it's a graphic novel. I didn't read the article. I was thrilled to see that Marvel and DC were willing to do something like that, especially for a creator that contributed so much to the industry.
To both of them too.
Yeah. I'm sure Time Warner and Disney do not do much together. Yeah. So hopefully if they earn any money off of it, that it goes towards hopefully cancer treatment or to Perez's family. I would be okay with either one.
Isn't the Hero Initiative usually directly to the
creators and stuff? And maybe that's what he wanted, was it because I think they said he was one of the co-founders of the Hero Initiative. So, and I'd be okay with that also. Yeah. Like I said, I'm glad that Marvel and DC could come together on that. That's
if it's not too tough, I'll get a copy.
Yeah,
but I mean 7,000 it might be, but
I think there's gonna be a lot of people who want that, want one of those copies. Yeah. So, like I said, so at least there's a little bit of bright side out of that. Hopefully, it brings Marvel and DC together again for a couple more things here and there. So.
Hopefully he's also just not looking at the comments too.
Yeah.
I imagine in his state he probably isn't spending a whole lot of time online, and you know what? That's for the best.
Yeah. Hopefully. All right, so we'll turn the page on that one and we'll move on to the next topic. Who is Iron Fist?
Well, it was Danny Rand apparently until today.
Until today, that's right. There is a new Iron Fist. What do you think about them changing existing characters like that?
It depends, because there are times. I guess it just comes down to, does the character stand for itself? Because Jane Foster Thor was good. Miles Morales is good. Like there's plenty of occasions where they do these things, and the character is great, and it stands the test of time. And the old one will probably come back. If it isn't good, and
Danny Rand very, very rarely carried a book for any length of time. Like it seemed like people like the character as a supporting character, but not so much as a carry his book kind of.
Sure, yeah. I mean, I guess same thing with kind of like Nova, and there's a new one, but I like both of the versions there. So even if he couldn't carry it, I still liked the character. So it's it's tough. Obviously there definitely are fans of Danny Rand out there, but I can't think that it's not based on the criticism of the Netflix show and whitewashing and stuff like that. But he's also
so the interesting thing is he's sticking around. He's still part of the story and everything. Right. So I think that's a good middle ground type of thing, and we'll see where it goes. I'm interested in reading this week's issue. I've not had a chance to look through it yet, but I know people are already speculating on the character who replaced him. So
makes sense
because they had appearances before this. So.
Not to mention Disney, saying that they're going to start doing things with the characters from the Netflix shows and stuff. So right as an Iron Fist thing comes out, wonder what's going to happen there.
Exactly. So we won't go any deeper into that because we don't want to spoil anything for what happened in the issue. We'll turn the page. The next couple topics are pretty quick, just so you know. Peacekeeper, Season 2 has been announced. They have renewed it for a second season. Have you been watching Peacekeeper?
Not at all.
Yeah, me either. I hate John Cena. So we'll turn the page on that topic.
Wow, we agree.
Moving on to the next topic. If you like John Cena, I'm sorry that you like John Cena. Dr. Fate. They did some pictures of Pierce Brosnan as Dr. Fate for the upcoming Black Adam movie. The look of the character is amazing. I'm looking forward to it. Normally, DC, when I look at their costumes in their superhero movies, I'm a little disappointed. I feel like that they sometimes look plastic or like misplaced. I feel like Marvel, unfortunately, does a better job at making it feel. You don't think so?
I think they do a better job at it looking real, but a lot of the times they feel very lazy.
Yeah.
Or they're just too CG, and then it's like,
See, I like the Ant-Man costume.
yeah, the Ant-Man costume's good, but that one was also more comedic, and I think they're willing to make a goofier looking costume. But like, you look at, well, I mean, Spider-Man was a good example. All of those were just CG costumes, maybe a little bit of something there, and they were kind of.
Gotcha. I like the Guardians of the Galaxy costumes also.
Those ones are also easier because they can base it on many different looks from the comics.
Yeah.
Drax is just pants.
Yeah. I'm just saying. But I really do like the Dr. Fate one. It looks impressive. You haven't seen it?
I haven't seen
All right,
it.
take out your phone. Sorry. So now that you've had a chance to look at the costume, your thoughts?
Yeah, I definitely.
It looks powerful.
Yeah, I agree. I'm gonna say it's probably better than a lot of the Marvel costumes. You were trying to compare it to that, but I think it's. I don't know. There's a more, I don't know, colorful vibe to it.
Yeah.
If that makes any sense.
I was not looking forward to Black Adam because I don't like The Rock much like John Cena. So.
I don't have a strong opinion on The Rock.
No. Not at all.
Not really.
Okay, fine, whatever. But anyway, so yes, Dr. Fate may actually get me to watch the Black Adam movie.
Okay. Pierce Brosnan's good.
Yes, he is. He was James Bond.
He was.
All right, so we'll turn the page on that one. A couple quick topics there. All right, Joelle Jones. You know what's going on with Joelle Jones? No. So Joelle Jones is an artist, and apparently she traced a couple images from other artists for one of her books. People are calling her out, like, "Hey, you're a thief. You stole these from somebody else." I didn't have a chance to read the article, but apparently somebody today told me that her argument was that it was in a guidebook, and the guidebook talks about using that technique or whatever, so she thought it was okay. I don't know whether that's true or not. Whether it is true or not, I do think it's lazy for artists to take other people's work, and people spend good money on their comics each and every week. I think they deserve like original, real content from that artist. Not to mention that the companies have paid them for original art as well. But I don't know your thoughts on.
I mean, yeah, obviously they should do original, but
It's time intensive. I understand.
I don't even. Now I just mean people got away with it. What's his name? Land?
Yeah, Greg Land.
Greg Land? Yeah. I mean, that's his style for 20 years, so it's like.
Probably longer than that.
Good point. But
actually, he was a good artist even before he started doing that. Because I don't think he started doing that until after his Birds of Prey run. I think it was Birds of Prey he started doing it. I could be wrong. People may go like, "Oh no, John, look at this page. He actually did it here also." It seemed like he really started doing it when he started working for CrossGen, which is a shame because the Sojourn book was so beautiful. The colorist did a great job on it. It was just a really well done book. I don't know whether you ever had a chance to read that one or not, but you should. It was an excellent book. CrossGen was a great company. Still a travesty that it died way too early, and it's makes me sad still. Anyway,
I just know his work on Ultimate Fantastic Four forward, and that's abysmal.
Well, on the bright side, though, Joelle Jones clearly has a future as an inker.
There you go.
Because they're just tracers.
Yeah.
No comment.
I agree. What, you want me to disagree? I mean,
if you get that reference, go ahead and comment.
What was the reference?
You don't know what it's from?
Oh, sorry.
Oh, wow. See? And there we have it. Also, comment if you're sad that Jacob didn't know where that comment was from. Anyway. So we'll move on. We're done with the new topics for the week, but we'll move on to the best Wednesday ever. I only have one this week, Jacob. I feel sad.
I have one.
You have one? Okay, so we have two. All right. Best Wednesday ever this week. Hopefully we don't have the same one. That would be...
I feel like it's very unlikely.
All right. Best Wednesday ever is Marvel. Marvel's hitting the shelves hard this week. They got Thor. They got Hulk. They got Venom. They got Iron Fist. All four of them hitting the shelves. All of them flying off the shelves today. Marvel brought the heat, man.
They always do, if you ask me.
We didn't. Anyway.
Mine is Owen Wilson exclusively starring in comic book movies because I didn't realize until the end credits that Marry Me is apparently a comic book.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, no, that is. It's
like a web comic.
Yeah, they also did a print version of it like 3 years ago.
Either way, I sat through the whole thing, and then at the end it says, based on the graphic novel, and I was like, what? So yeah, Loki and then this. He's only doing comic book movies.
Sure. I don't know if that's the case, but we have to break out his contract. All right. Well, that's it for this week. Sorry we were not as entertaining as usual, or at least me. You were fine. But
Thank you.
trying to butter up the cameraman. Anyway, thank you for watching. Don't forget to LCS your LCS's YouTube channel. Will you be the Venom subscriber? Hit us up. Thank you for watching.